If your drone shots look amateur and lifeless, it's not your drone, it's how you move it. So in this video, I'm going to show you 11 cinematic drone moves that you're probably ignoring so you can copy every one of them on your next flight. And stick around because move number 11 is the one that makes your footage look the most cinematic. All right, move number 1. Most beginner drone orbits look flat for one reason: you're just too far away. So you get up there and you hit quick shots, you get a big wide orbit, and it looks like everyone else's orbit. Here's an old shot of mine, and notice how the building barely moves and the background barely shifts. Everything sort of feels just sort of stuck in the frame. Instead, I want you to do a manual orbit. It's fairly easy. You just fly sideways while you slowly rotate the drone. And the reason this type of shot will look better is because it creates a parallax effect. When you're closer, the subject moves slower and the background moves faster. So your shot instantly gets that extra depth. If you're too far away, everything moves the same speed and it looks pretty boring and flat. So how you do this shot is you get in nice and close. If you have to zoom in because you can't get closer, do that. You want your subject to basically fill the frame, but not too much because you still want to see that background. And then when you slowly rotate and fly sideways, you'll see the background moving at a different speed. Now that you've got some depth with the parallax, let's do the opposite, a shot that looks cinematic, and it's very simple. If you freeze up and you don't know what to film, you'll usually do this. You'll fly up high, whip the camera around, and try to cram 3 moves into one shot. And don't feel bad because I've done it too, and I never use those clips because they just never look any good. But you can easily fix this with a top-down shot. So point your gimbal straight down and start hunting for patterns and contrast. Shorelines are perfect because the ocean versus the land gives you instant separation. But the simple rule here is to keep the frame balanced, look for symmetry, look for leading lines or a subject that sits nicely in the frame. And sometimes you don't even need to move because waves and cars or people can create movement for you. If you do move, keep it simple, do a slow rise or a slow descent. It is a simple move, but it does look clean and professional. All right, now you've got a great top down, let's switch to a move that's all about story. We're going to reveal the scene instead of showing it all at once. As a beginner, it is tempting to fly up high and show the entire landscape right away. And yes, sometimes it does actually work. But most of the time, the shot gets way more cinematic if you reveal the scene piece by piece. So here's the easiest reveal. Use a foreground object to block the view, like a building, a cliff edge or a roof line, even a sign, anything really, so the viewer can't see the main subject yet. Then all you have to do is rise until the scene appears. Or you can do a side reveal where you fly sideways from behind the foreground object to reveal the scene behind it. The key for this is to start hidden, move slow, and let the foreground create that curiosity you need, because that's what adds scale and drama to your footage. And once you've mastered a simple reveal, here's the move that makes it feel even bigger because it reveals the scene and the scale at the same time. Okay, this one builds on the reveal shot. Beginners sometimes make the mistake of getting close with the drone and just staying there. And don't get me wrong, getting close to a subject is great, but if you stay tight the whole time, you never show the scale of the location. So the pullback and rise fixes that and it looks insanely movie-like. And here's how you do it. Start close on your subject and lock in the framing that you want. Leave the gimbal alone and slowly fly backwards and upwards at the same time, keeping the subject in the frame. Also, just a quick safety check, make sure you're clear behind you and above you before you're flying backwards. If you do this shot right, this move turns a simple subject into a shot that shows the full scale of the environment. So we've done reveals that show scale. Now let's fix one of the most common beginner habits that makes you look like an amateur. Here's a mistake I see beginners make all the time. They hover in one spot and just spin the drone left and right, and it makes you feel dizzy and it almost never looks any good. Instead, you can get a similar effect using a push-in turn. You fly forward to create the motion and turn to keep the subject in frame. And how to do it is quite simple. And how to do this is quite easy as well. You just set your gimbal slightly down, unless you're doing a top-down shot, of course, and then pick a subject to track. In this case, it's a jetty and it's revealing more and more as the shot goes on. Or in this shot, the move is to follow the train. So just fly forward smoothly while you slowly rotate so the subject stays in the same part of the frame. That way you're showing more of the area without that choppy, dizzy spinning, and the shot instantly feels more like you planned it, because you did. Now that you've added motion with push-ins, let's add a sometimes overlooked kind of motion, which is vertical movement. When you first start flying, you tend to launch, climb high, and just stay there. I myself used to love just launching and going as high as possible, but I was missing out on so many other types of shots. The problem with flying so high is that your shots can look two-dimensional because you're never changing height, so they don't really show the depth of the environment. That's why the rise up shot is on this list. It's simple and it looks great. So here's how you do this shot. You start low with your gimbal facing forward and then slowly rise up to reveal more of the scene. Keep your climb speed smooth and consistent, and if you want to spice it up a little bit, add a tiny slow rotation as you rise up to make the reveal feel even bigger. Next up is a reveal with way more drama using a close foreground object to create separation and depth. Sometimes a drone shot feels stale because nothing changes in a frame, it's just one wide view drifting along. So a few years ago I started doing this one move to fix that, and it instantly made my footage feel deeper and more cinematic. It's called the flyover reveal, and you use a foreground object to hide the scene a little, and then the landscape opens up beyond it for a big payoff. So here's how you do it. Find a strong foreground edge, a cliff ridge or a tree line, or this building for instance. Set your gimbal slightly forward, level or a bit down can both work, and fly forward at a steady, smooth speed, passing safely over the object. As soon as you clear it, hold the shot for a few more seconds so the viewer can see the landscape open up. The bonus of this shot is it looks like you're really close to the object, but you can be quite a fair way above it. And because of the camera, it'll make it look like you're much closer. And this shot works because the foreground moves fast and the background opens up, which creates depth, and you get a really dramatic visual payoff. Now that we've used foreground objects for dramatic reveals, let's switch to a move that adds instant energy without changing your location at all. One of the biggest problems with flying too high is it makes everything look slower. The higher you are, the less motion you feel in the shot. Personally, I love flying low and fast because it instantly makes the footage feel more exciting, especially over water. And here's how you do it. It's very easy. Bring the drone down lower than normal, not dangerously low, just low enough that the ground moves through the frame. Keep your gimbal facing forward and fly forward at a faster than normal pace, but keep it smooth and steady. A couple of safety notes: you don't need to skim the ground, and over water give yourself extra height because drones can misread the surface and you don't want a surprise dip. Your drone can't swim. And DJI, if you're watching this, get on that, make a drone that swims. We all need it. They're not watching this. And a bonus tip is that you don't actually have to fly that fast. Being closer to the ground creates the illusion of speed. The good way to practice this shot is like this. Do a 10 seconds forwards move, then a 10 seconds sideways move, then a 10 seconds backwards move. One clean move at a time, and record them all separately. And when you cut those together in the edit, your footage will feel instantly more dynamic. So once you've got that low forward energy, here's how to add a reveal on top of it without learning a whole new move. This is a great beginner move because it builds on the last one, but it's the kind of thing people overlook. It's also one of my favorites. I use it all the time. So here's the basic idea. You start with the camera aimed down so the viewer can't see the whole scene just yet. Then you tilt up as you move forward to reveal the landscape. And this is the simple way on how to do it. First thing you need to do is set your gimbal pointing down around 45 degrees, then start flying forward at a smooth, steady speed. While you're moving, slowly tilt the gimbal up until the horizon and the full scene comes into view. A good way to set this up is to begin with the horizon or your main subject hidden, then reveal it gradually as you fly. The tricky part is matching your gimbal speed to your flight speed, but once you get it dialed in, it looks seriously like it's straight out of a movie. And a quick tip for you, a forward tilt-up reveal makes great opening shots in your footage, and a backwards version of that works really well as an ending shot. Now that you've got reveals, let's switch to a move that's all about smooth motion and control. This one can feel a little tricky at first as a beginner, but only because you're moving sideways, so you need to watch out for obstacles. But it's one of the cleanest cinematic moves you can do, and I use this a lot when I want something smooth and controlled without doing something fancy or flashy. A dolly shot is basically a sideways slide. You fly left or right at a steady speed while keeping your subject in the frame. And here's how you do it. Pick a clear subject. In this case, it's a bridge, and we're following a man walk his dog. Then set your gimbal level or slightly down and lock in your framing. Then start moving smoothly left or right, doesn't matter which way you go. Use tiny adjustments to keep the subject in the same spot in the frame. This will be controlled mainly by speed. And the reason it looks so good is the background shifts across the frame while your subject stays steady, which creates clean motion and separation. And a pro tip here is do a few slow practice passes first. If your movement is consistent for 8 to 10 seconds, you'll have a shot that's super usable in your edit, and it works great as a top-down shot too. I'm just following this boat across the water, and I think it looks great, and all I'm doing is flying sideways. So we've done smooth sideways motion with the dolly shot. Now let's take that same smooth control and add a second layer of movement. A lot of beginner shots feel basic for one reason. You're only moving on one axis at a time, just forward, just sideways, or just up. And after a while, they can look a little bit repetitive, so you need to mix it up every now and then. So for this move, we're going to combine two simple moves into one, a smooth orbit plus a slow rise. And this is called a rising orbit, and it instantly looks more advanced because there's layered motion happening at the same time. And here's how you do it. You start by doing a normal manual orbit, but start lower than normal and get it smooth first. You want to make sure you got that under control. Once you've got that steady, do it again, but add a slow upwards climb while you're orbiting. And as you rise, more of the subject will come into frame. The big takeaway is this: combining two simple moves creates complexity without needing fancy settings or expensive gear. And done right, the rising orbit gives you that high-end cinematic feel with motion that's layered, controlled, and seriously satisfying to watch. And if you've got that level of control, you're ready for a shot that looks way more advanced than it is. It's called the dolly zoom. I'll show you exactly how to do that in this video right here.